Good morning, it's your favorite muffin here, Stud Muffin 1986. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I actually got two super epic replays to show you here. This is my brother, Coulter45. If you see him on the battlefield, definitely give him a shout out, say hi. I'll have to admit this. It's a little hard for me to admit. So he is my younger brother, and he is definitely better than me. I know we give each other a hard time about it sometimes. We definitely joke about it quite a bit. But he definitely is a much better player than I am. I've actually learned quite a bit from him. He has about a 65% win rate. I've got about a 60% win rate. We love platooning with each other. But when he sends me games over, I know it means business. And I don't know what it is. Sometimes he just gets himself in these crazy situations where you watch some of these replays and there's like, there is either no way you're gonna survive or no way that you're winning this, and it just gets pretty epic. So I'll see what you guys think. But yeah, like we sometimes have these games where we're in a situation kind of like my brother a little bit right here. There's a lot of enemies pushing up on this side where he is right now. And he's just kind of screaming for help. Just in his EXP here, it's got great armor, but he's still got to be a bit careful here. He's got some tier 9 tanks that are pretty powerful, and he's starting to find himself in a little bit of a struggle here. Team's starting to fall apart. It's two down on one team, 3 down on the other. And yeah, he's really, mainly just trying to survive here, making sure that the front of the enemies are in front of him, really utilizing those strong points of his armor, taking a few risks here. I love how he's playing. And yeah, we get these games sometimes where sometimes the adrenaline can be just a little bit too high sometimes. And I felt it. I don't know if any of you guys have had some of these situations where you're so involved in the game, and it's even funny. My wife will tell you, yeah, I could definitely tell you when my husband is in an intense game because I'm completely glued to the screen. I just start saying when my wife is trying to tell me things, which is probably a reason why my wife's not a big fan of the game. Do love her a ton, and she does work with me a little bit. But anyway, kind of outside the point. So we got Coulter45 here. He's a little bit in a sticky situation. It's just himself against 2 others. Doing a little okay on health. That RU251 can be a little bit of a problem because the RU251 can spot him before he gets spotted. This ST1 has some pretty good armor, was able to get a good shot in him. That RU251 was able to get that heat round right into him. He's trying to back up, put himself in a position so that RU251 can't flank him, but it's a little sticky right now, just because that ST1 can come out, try to get him. He definitely can't afford a bounce right now, but this is actually very interesting because I don't know if I would have quite thought to do this. That ST1, I guess, could have come up behind him in a way, and that RU251 could have caused some issues for him. You can see that he's moving around, and this is where it gets a little intense because now he's down to 1 hit. And as I'm watching this replay, I'm just kind of like laughing because it's like, oh my gosh, I can only imagine what my brother is feeling here. So he starts backing up into this hole. Just trying to get any protection he possibly can. That RU251 can come up behind him, but luckily spots him, The RU-251 bounces his shot, and he's able to take him out. And now it's just the ST-1. And the ST-1 is a very well armored tank, but also is the EXP. So Kyle definitely has to be a bit careful here. That's actually my brother's name. So sorry, that probably was confusing. Coulter 45. And so he sees him, and he's got to be really careful here, because the ST-1 can most likely take him out with just an HE round, and Coulter 45 here has got to get this shot in, in order to make sure that he doesn't get himself killed. So trying to utilize this bridge, just really close. The timer's going down. He's paying attention to it. He's playing the patience game right now with this ST-1, and just trying to see. I think they're both trying to bait each other just a little bit, just to see if maybe one will take a shot over the other. Neither one of them is sticking themselves out more than the other, and so quite interesting. I mean, it's really coming down the wire. 30 seconds left on the clock, and this is kind of when you're like, okay, well, who's gonna mess up here? And he's trying to just look for that shot, just a little bit enough, and boom, gets it. Quite a game. I did actually quite enjoy this replay quite a bit. I did get some laughs when watching this. Definitely some points where you're like, no way is he still gonna be able to pull this off and win. So we got another one here. He is in his Conway. From what, I don't have the Conway. My brother's been grinding it to try to get the tier 10. He's been telling me it's definitely not been the same since the update, but this is after the update. Still grinding the tank. And you can see, I mean, he's an aggressive player, but he's trying to be really smart here. I mean, the Conway doesn't have a lot of armor here. He's trying to be a little careful. I mean, he's definitely using these walls, these hills. He comes over here. He's able to spot some tanks, and he's able to get himself in some really, really good situations. I really like what Coulter 45 does here. I mean, even though he's a glass cannon, and he's on the front lines, he knows how to do it pretty well, even though he does take some pretty big hits here. Sticking himself out, like just kind of waiting, hoping to have some of these tanks miss. It's a little bit of a risky move in a situation, but it is helping him. It is helping him, with this battle. So they're definitely ahead here. At this point, it's like, okay, pretty comforting. Things are looking pretty good. So anyway, it's just funny. Like sometimes when you get in this mode, I've even noticed when the adrenaline is, look at this. Boom! That 59 Patton just trying to get away and just get that lovely shot off. I just love it. But just what I was saying is that you can get yourself in these situations where the games can be really intense, and like you either, like, your decision making, I notice for me, can sometimes just get so, and look at this, just barely before that teammate just rolls in front of him. And yeah, sometimes like my decision making gets so clouded sometimes, and I'll go back and even watch some of my replays and like, okay, what could have I done better? And I'll even notice like, why in the world did I do that? So Coulter 45 here, he's trying to support his team as much as he can. Unlucky on that track shot right there. Really trying to pull it through for his team, and his team is just falling apart, taking hits that he just can't afford. Trying to do what he can, get some of these shots off, And you notice, I mean, even though he's a TD in a glass cannon, he's not, you know, sitting and camping in one spot. He's trying to use his tank's strengths. Trying to protect the weaknesses, using the ridge lines and the hills the best he can. And he's got some teammates in some pretty sticky situations here, and he's trying to help them out here the best he can, really get himself in the fight. There's yeah, it's a it's a 3-on-3, trying to go in for more of the kills, and yeah, this gets pretty crazy here because he's really at the point where he can't sacrifice too many hits. So, you know, getting a little aggressive here. This is where it starts, you know, getting a little nervous. His reverse isn't super fast, able to you know, he takes a hit there, and this is kind of the point where I'm thinking, okay, my brother is not gonna make this. So anyway, continue to enjoy this replay. This is Stud Muffin 1986. Hope you guys enjoy the videos I put out. I got a lot more videos kind of lined up for you guys that I think would be pretty interesting and good to see. Look at this, just, oh, barely. Anyway, Stud Muffin 1986 here. You guys keep tanking and stay cool.